Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 63 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series, where I'm taking a nap almost immediately after starting the recording, because that's how we roll. No, just kidding. So, what I'm working on today is a fission reactor and an industrial turbine. We last episode built this monstrosity. It's going to generate fissile fuels for us. And I think no better time than now to get into a quantum entangloper. Quantum entanglepers are cool gadgets from Mechanism that allow you to teleport basically items, fluids, energy, or more importantly, gases to any location in your game. So cross dimensions, all that good stuff. So the plan for today is to quantum entangloper some fissile fuel right over to here. And then probably I would like to, let's see, I'm going to put you down for a sec. And what I'm going to do is make sure that everything is off. So you can see we've got tabs for all the different things. Slurries and waters and infused types and all that good stuff. I'm just going to turn off the output on all of them. And even heat. Even heat, look at that. Energy, slurries, items, fluids, gases, infused, everything can be teleported with the quantum entangloper. It's pretty cool. That's the plan. So the plan for today is we're going to quantum entanglope. Let's see, what are you sidedness set to? Gases is set to input all, right? So we probably want only input on the left at the moment. These guys we're going to turn off. Pigments, there's a lot of buttons. And I wonder if there's a quick and easy way to disable all the things. You know what I mean? Just straight up make it all gray. I don't know, I'm not sure. But we're going to set up a quantum entangloper system to teleport the... Because it's a gas, we need to do this, right? The fissile fuel is not a liquid, so we can't use ender tanks. It's not an item, so we can't use ender chests. It's a gas, which is a very special type of resource, courtesy of Mechanism. My knowledge is that Mechanism is the only mod that supports gases in this pack, though I believe I saw gas manipulation in the XNet mod. So that may support Mechanism gases. I personally haven't tried it, just reporting that I think I saw it in there and that might work. So today's plan, we're going to turn on the fission reactor. We're going to start generating fissile fuel into nuclear waste. We're going to start turning water into steam. We're going to pipe the steam into the turbine. We're going to start generating power. We might amp up our power storage back at our base so that we can store large amounts of power. And then finally, we might look into ramping up this fission reactor, because this is a tiny reactor, right? I'm only here to get the gist of how this works, to show you guys the basics. And then we're going to ramp it up to something bigger that can burn through fissile fuel faster. And then we might look into salt reactors to really cook things into gear. That might be cool. But that's a lot to do, so let's get started. So one of the things we're going to want to do is look into storing our nuclear waste. So I'm going to get a handful-ish, 10, if you will, radioactive waste barrels. Probably just one for the start, and then we'll kind of go from there and ramp it up. So one radioactive waste barrel, I'm going to pop down here, and I'm going to configure you. Isn't there a way to configure you? Yeah, output waste, output coolant, input only. Output waste, that's what we want. Cool. And you, sir, will be input only. Cool. And you will be output coolant. And you can be input only, I presume? Sure, why not? I guess. Now, I don't know if I need this pump anymore, so I'm going to break him for a minute and see if he's no longer... I'm pretty sure a closed-loop system means we shouldn't need any water. All water will go out here and then circles way back in. But we'll see if I'm right about that. So, ultimate mechanical pipes, because I'm pretty sure the steam, yes, is a liquid. Well, that's funny, though. Turbine valve, that's where we should pipe the steam into, right? Maybe it is a gas? I can never remember which of these is a gas and which is a liquid. That might do it. There we go. Okay, cool. Now, I don't know if I can specify you guys as an input or output, but we'll test it. I think I may need to set that to pull, but we'll find out. We're also going to want ultimate pressurized tubes here. Perfect. I don't want him connecting to the quantum entangloper. So we want nuclear waste to pipe out of here into the radioactive waste barrel. Reminder, if you break this radioactive waste barrel while it has nuclear waste in it, you will irradiate the area, all the chunks around you, and it will be a bad day. I may or may not have taken a backup just before starting recording this episode, in case I derp it up. Though, it will decay over time. I don't know if there's anything that will clean up the nuclear waste, but worst case, if you just wait, it'll eventually dissipate. So, it's not something you want to do, but it's also not the end of the game. Like, it's not like your world is ruined forever if you do it. You know, it's just not something you want to do. So let's go get our fissile fuel. What I might do, real quick, is let's get a... Nah, we can just set it up. I think we're cool. So let's set up fissile fuel as this channel. All right, you're going to be fissile fuel set. And the side config here will be... I want to turn everything off on this guy, too. Just because I don't want accidental connections to things. Not that there should ever be, but you know, we're just playing it safe. We're just playing it safe. All right, so gases will input on the left. Your side config will be that gases will eject on the right. And we can see this stuff turning on now, which is cool. Side note, by the way, your chemical dissolution chamber accepts gas upgrades. I think it's I tried putting gas upgrades in all these machines. This is the only one that accepted it, but it means less sulfuric acid being used, which probably good because sulfur is a thing that we're struggling for at the moment-ish. So this thing, by the way, has an internal buffer that's filling up. I don't think you ever see it or know what it is, but just know that it exists. Cool. And then we're going to set quantum entangloper to the same channel, fissile fuel, and we're going to set the gases on the right to output, which means you should now... should be. Hey, what's this connection for? Nobody said that could happen. Nobody said that could happen. And we want eject on. Hooray! Fuel tank, fissile fuel, 8,000 millibuckets, aka 8 buckets worth. Nice. All right, so this thing should eventually regenerate most of our stuff. Did I put all speed upgrades in you guys? I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah. So everybody's been speed upgraded, which is cool. Everybody's doing a good job. He's been speed upgraded too, right? Yeah, he has. Good work. Good work, past Direwolf. So we're just generating lots and lots and lots of fissile fuel. Eventually, whatever that buffer is, I don't know how big it is, but eventually it'll fill up in the quantum entangloper, which will backstop the chemical tank, which will backstop the isotropic, and everything backstops again. All right, shall we try turning this thing on? So we want to be a little bit careful. We want to be a little bit careful. Set rate limit. 0.1. All right, so let's make sure to set the rate limit in here. Rate limit 0.1 millibuckets. I can set that like this, right? Yeah. Let's stick with 0.1 millibuckets per tick, and we'll adjust this as needed to bump it up. You can see the max burn rate is 1 millibucket per tick. We may get there because I'm pretty sure my turbine should be able to handle this. I just want to also make sure that it's, you know, not going to be a problem. Let's get an ultimate energy cube here real quick. Let's just kick off making one of those so we can see how the power goes. And what I'm thinking I might do is build the multi-block power storage thingy from Mechanism to hold all this power, but we'll see. All right, let's see. Is the cube done? Still in oh, there you go. Cool. I'm just gonna pop him like right here. I don't know if he needs to be adjacent to a valve or not. We'll find out. I forget how that works. There's no specific block for outputting power, so I don't know. Let's turn it on, shall we? I'm a little bit nervous turning on a nuclear reactor, but let's do it. Boom. Nice. All right, cool. You're a little bit loud. You're a little bit loud. Fission reactor. Is that better? I feel like that's better. Isn't that cool? The little slider thing? All right, so all the coolant is draining He is getting his steam happening, steam input. He's got already a million RF, so that's cool. Where's the water output coming now? Shouldn't there be water output happening? I feel like there should be water output happening from this. Doesn't this thing output water? Or am I crazy? Let's scram this. Shut her down. And the temperature will come down. We're offline now. We're no longer burning. We're no longer using water. I could have sworn water came out of this thing. Am I crazy? Oh, because he's a pressurized tube. That's not what we want. Yeah, no, water's not a gas, direwolf. But then also, my other problem, therefore, was that you don't connect to that guy. So let me look into that real quick. Ah, I remember now. It's turbine vents can do this for us. That's what it is. It's turbine vents. Each turbine vent will be able to push the water out. So let's see what happens if I turn this on real quick. Hey, look, water. Haha, it's working. Cool. So are we breaking even on water, or are we, like, losing water? We might not be piping enough water out. That looks better, right? That looks better. Hey, we're breaking even on water. How cool is that? And it looks to me like we won't overdo it on water, so I don't think we have to worry about voiding water so much. So I'm going to reconnect this guy and let it fill back up. And that looks pretty good. So we are now creating waste, which is stored in the radioactive waste barrel, which you can shift right-click to see the stored amount. Sweet, we're storing nuclear waste. How cool is that? All right. Now I think I can amp this dude up because he's generating an abysmally small amount of temperature at the moment. So let's bump him up to 0.5. And we're still keeping it cool enough. 1 millibucket per tick, which is the max, which I'm not sure what defines the max. It might be the size, but yeah, we're now heating 20,000 millibuckets per tick of water, which is in theory going into here. You're producing 22,000 forge energy per tick. Flow rate is about 20,000 millibuckets per tick of steam, so that's cool. We can see because steam isn't filling up in here, so that's pretty good times, right? All right. So if I set you back to 0.1, we'll see that this drops down the burn rate. The heating rate is now 2,000 millibuckets per tick. You're at 2,000 millibuckets per tick, and you're generating 2,000 RF per tick. All right, so that's pretty cool beans, right? That's not bad. Now, how about energy? How do we get energy out of this doohickey? Can I want you inputting. Let's see, can you go like here, for example? Yep, there you go. There you go, it's that block. That's the block that you export energy to. Good to know. I might wind up moving him. Sweet. This is actually working out pretty good. All right, not bad. So let's bump him up to the 1. We'll max out his running capabilities. And we're getting nuclear waste. Bum, ba, da, bum, bum, bum. We've already got a bucket of it. Hooray! That's pretty cool. And we're having no problems with water. We're having no problems with backstuffing. I don't see an internal water buffer in here, so I don't know what happens. Max water output is that. I don't know what happens with water. Does it auto void water? It might. It might automatically void it because I'm not seeing any measure of water being inside here. And before we had these connectors hooked up, it definitely seemed like it was voiding the water because when we hooked them up after, they didn't drain. So I feel like it voids the water if it doesn't have anything to do with it. So this should be stable. This should be nice and stable. I don't think there's anything that can cause this setup to explode. I mean, in theory. And I did kind of build them on a chunk border because I'm a genius. But I chunk loaded all the things, so we should be fine. If you're smart, you would probably build all this within one chunk to prevent chunk loading issues. I'm not smart, but maybe my second reactor I will build that way, so that we're more smart and not less smart. Yeah, I think that's a good plan. Maybe our next reactor, we'll build like maybe the reactor in this chunk and the turbine right in the same chunk if we can squeeze it all in. Oh, and just for the record, we did eventually backstuff fissile fuel, so the internal buffer of this quantum entangloper did finally fill up. So there's a bunch of fissile fuel somewhere in the ether, magically. And this thing's up and running, sweet. All right, cool. So lots of fissile fuel production's doing good. You're doing good. Let's look at processing our nuclear waste now, because there's a couple ways to go about doing this. So my focus right now, there's two ways to do it, right? We can either do plutonium, whose only purpose, the only reason to do plutonium is to get plutonium pellets. And note that you're going to get spent nuclear waste from this, but plutonium pellets, which you can then combine with polonium to make SMS casings. So we'll need some of that to get antimatter in a bit. And then also you can use it to create reprocessed fissile fragments, which can turn into, each of them turns into 2 buckets of fissile fuel, right? So that's not bad. You get like 8 buckets of it per plutonium ingot. So, or gem, or whatever you want to call that thing. Pellet? Okay, that works. The other thing we're going to need, or have the capability to get, is polonium. So polonium can be used with water and fluorite dust to get polonium pellets and spent nuclear waste. Aha! And you can also use that in the supercritical phase shifter, which only has one recipe as far as I know, which is polonium to antimatter. So, and it's 1,000 millibuckets polonium to 1 millibucket of antimatter. So it's 1,000 to 1. This is 10 to 1, right? So 10 millibuckets of nuclear waste equals 1 millibuckets of polonium, and then 1,000 millibuckets of polonium is 1 millibucket of antimatter. In other words, antimatter takes forever to get. Okay, in case that was unclear. So we're going to want a really big nuclear reactor if we're going to be focusing on getting more antimatter, right? If we really want to ramp up antimatter production, which I kind of do. So right now my focus is polonium because I want polonium pellets, because that's what's needed to get the mech suit that I want. So polonium is the way I'm going to go. So as a result, we're going to need a pressurized reaction chamber to get the polonium pellets, and we're also going to need a solar neutron activator. So let's get a solar neutron activator. So can I control click you mostly? What do I not have? HDPE pellets? Did I never set those up? Did I never set up HDPE sheets? Did I never do this? I mean, they're not hard to get. We've got ethylene, right? We've got ethylene. So it's liquid ethylene that you need for HDPE sheets, right? Oxygen and liquid ethylene with substrates, and substrates are, is that what I'm getting over here? Yes, substrates. Cool. Okay, so what I should be able to do, we're gonna need to get the oxygen over here. I should be able to finagle that. So you, sir, need a pressurized reaction chamber, right? We're gonna want 2 of these, but we'll get there. Let me make this off camera real quick, and we'll be right back. All right, so we're going to want oxygen over here and energy, right? So energy is going to be an easy one. Ultimate universal cable. You're going to pop down here, pressurized reaction chamber. Okay, you're going to side config. Let's turn everything off like we have been, because I just like it that way. Energy can be fine. All right, so fluids will input on the left, and you will output on the right. Actually, that's items. Fluids. Boom, liquid ethylene. Nice. Okay, cool. And you've got power coming in. So now we just need oxygen. Rip. Is there a reason water's down here, or is this just like a thing? Oh, yeah, because I've got the pump going. Okay. That's fine. We will work around that. So where's oxygen coming in? So you're going out that way, huh? Not the end of the world. It's getting a little bit tight back here, though. Ultimate pressurized tube. Hey, there's a reason this is built into the wall, and it's so that I can do dire wire without feeling too guilty about it. And your gases will input on the right. Cool. Oxygen come in. Oxygen gases input. Yes. Shouldn't you be inputting oxygen? Oh, I know why. Hold on. There we go. Sweet. Perfect. Looking good. All right, so with you on, now we just need the substrates to get this stuff. Now, did I throw a storage bus on you? I should probably consider a storage bus. But basically, let's get a storage, external storage dude on you. And then what we could say is that this is, you just put this in here and you'll get that out. Cool. And you get an excess of oxygen back out, but I'll probably just void that. That seems fair. So what we can do is we can have a crafter then. Can I void the excess oxygen without connecting to it? Yeah, sidedness is going to be a problem really fast. Because I connected to the back of this dude, that was kind of a meh. Yeah. We'll figure it out. So we'll put the external storage on this dude so that we have access to the substrates. And then we're going to want the crafter on here. So for items, you can input on the top. And where do I want the export to be? Probably the front output. Is that cool? And then we can throw a crafter on top. And there you go. Sweet. Super dire wiry. It's getting bad back here, folks. It's getting real bad. Okay. And then we'll probably want an import bus for the front. And then I just have to figure out what to do with all that oxygen. I can't even get out of this place. I have trapped myself. But now you are going to be, yeah, that's right. You. And let's just check fluids. We want to get rid of the liquid ethylene so that it doesn't think it needs ethylene. So one substrate equals one HDPE pellet. Okay. I'm going to need shrink in a minute to get out of this place. There you go. Cool. All right, that works. Then we just have to deal with oxygen somehow. I'll figure it out. To do. But for now, HDPE sheets equals that. And now we've got HDPE set up for the most part. For the most part. Okay, cool. So now we can do the solar neutron reflectory dude, right? Do I not have bronze as an autocraft? I'm feeling like maybe I don't. Bronze ingots. We can probably just go with this recipe, right? Do I not have bronze? I guess I don't. Why wouldn't I have made the bronze ingot recipe? That'll do, because we've got an induction smelter here, right? Ah, good, and he has recipes in him. Does he have speed upgrades? He does! Even better! Sweet. Alright, so his HDPE sheet worked, so that's good news. And there's your solar neutron reflector. And hey, my reactor didn't explode while I was gone. That's pleasant. Thank you, reactor, for not exploding while I was gone. Wow, we've got 15 buckets of nuclear waste. That's also cool. All right, so now let's get the solar neutron going. So I'm debating how I want to do this. Effectively, we want to just pipe the nuclear waste out of here into the solar neutron reflector, and that's it. Let's make sure we're not accidentally, you know, in 3x3 mode, because that would be classic dire. Let's make sure we have some sandstone if we can. Let's get our gadgety gadget. Where's the building gadget? There you are, sir. Thank you. Let's sandstone this area up. That seems pretty good, right? Yeah, I like that idea. Just so I can get underground as needed. Is that fair? I think that's fair. Alright, very careful with the nuclear waste. I'm not even kidding you guys. Very careful with the nuclear waste. Okay. I'm not entirely sure all that we want to do here, but we'll figure it out. So let's just place our solar neutron reactor thingy. We're gonna place him first, and I'm gonna place him not too far away, but not right next to it either. Because remember, we might also want to tap into that nuclear waste to get plutonium at some point. So we'll need an isotopic centrifuge line at some point. Yeah. I don't know if I can get the pressurized tubes to respond to a redstone signal, by the way. It would be cool if I could, but I don't know if I can. Can I wrench you? Yes. So maybe I want you up one. Right? If I popped you here. And I think I only need one of these, because this produces really slowly, right? It's 1 millibucket per tick is what we're producing here. But I should be able to put my pressurized tube here. Cool. And then I should be able to that, and then we're going to get polonium out. So hopefully I can then extract the polonium somehow. He might extract out the bottom. I think that's the deal. Doesn't he extract out the bottom? Yes. So we're going to want to make sure that this guy is not connecting. Thank you. None and none on both sides, just to be safe. Okay. So let's do the thing and cross our fingers that we don't irradiate a bunch of chunks. Boom. All right. So you should be now. Look at that. Waste is gone. Waste all gone. Processed very quickly, and probably all sitting in there, waiting to pipe into a pressurized reaction chamber, which sounds like a good time. So if I were to put my ultimate pressurized tube here, and a PRC here, and we side config this guy to accept gases from the bottom, that might be a good time. He's set to accept gases from the bottom, so it has me a little concerned. Empty and empty, huh? Gases, input, bottom, yes. So where did it all go? Empty, empty. I could get a gas tank. Just to see. And I'm pretty sure polonium I can move safely, right? Also, shouldn't you have, like... Maybe you didn't actually go in. Oh, that would be a problem. Yeah, maybe it's input to the bottom? That might be it. I wish I could see what's inside these things. But I'm pretty much thinking right now... Alright, so let's turn you off for a sec. Scram. Stop producing waste. Because I'm going to want to break these pipes in a moment. Normal. Normal. Hey, nuclear waste is in there. Sweet. Alright, good times. Alright, we want to be very careful. Shouldn't you connect to him? Oh, maybe not. Maybe only go on top and bottom. See, look, he's got a little bit of waste in him. That's something we want to be aware of. Something we want to be aware of. We want to be very careful about this. Now, solar neutron reactor doohickeys, as you may expect, only work at night. So all that stuff should be in here now. In theory. Ultimate pressurized tube. Where'd you all go? Now I'm very concerned. Could you be in the bottom? You don't have a sidedness, do you, Solar Neutron? Killing me, Smalls. Let's get another radioactive dude. I am very nervous about creating a waste mess. Mostly because y'all will laugh at me. No gas stored. Good. Also empty. Okay. So that means that pipe should be empty. I'm suspecting that all my polonium is inside this pipe. Now, why he's not connecting is a question that I don't have a good answer to. Gases... Input on back. Hey, there it is, polonium. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, so now this pipe should be empty. Yes. Okay. So what we're going to want to do is disconnect you. Disconnect you. Disconnect you. Reconnect you. And set you to export. Polonium, nice. Now you should be empty. No gas stored. Cool. The pipes should be empty, right? Come on, no radioactivity. Hooray! Hooray! That's cool. Okay. And then you're going to do that so that now nuclear waste pipes out of here into the bottom of this guy. So if I turn this back on, he's getting waste producing polonium. And he's now getting that polonium. Cool. We did it. We did it without making a mess. All right. So now polonium goes water, polonium, fluoride dust. Okay. And we'll automate this at some point, but I need to, one thing I definitely need to automate is fluoride dust. Okay. So fluoride dust goes into the crusher. Basic crushing factory. Get me a stack for a moment. And also get me a tank. Let's get ourselves one of these dudes, maybe a little bit bigger. This is temporary, just to demonstrate the production of polonium. Water, please. This should no way impact my coolant, by the way. Right, so let's just simulate, you know, water. Can I? Maybe we'll put water on the top for a sec. Okay, and we're gonna fluids input top. Boom, water, polonium, fluoride dust, go. Hooray! And energy obviously we'll need. And this is just dire quickie getting this running just to demonstrate it. And then we will obviously do more in a bit. Now, we're getting spent nuclear waste. Bad news right there. That stuff, nothing doing. Nothing doing. Nothing to do with it. It stinks. It's terrible. So what we want to do is put it somewhere safe. To me, in the ocean seems pretty safe, right? In the ocean seems pretty safe. That seems pretty safe, just dumping it in the ocean. That's, you know, how nuclear waste works, right? No, this is a bad idea. Don't try this at home, or especially in real life. But for now, it'll work. Now, there's nuclear waste and spent nuclear waste, I'm pretty sure, cannot be teleported with quantum entangleovers. They're blacklisted, so don't even try it. But what I'm going to do is borrow you for a sec. I'm not going to actually hook this up. Well, I mean, it shouldn't matter, because I've got gases set to do nothing on the left. So this shouldn't even connect at the moment. But let's get more ultimate pressurized tubes. While that's cooking, we'll dig a little tunnel. What if we did something cool like this? That works, right? Is that cool? I mean, yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. That looks neat, right? And then let's just dig it back this way and see where we are relative to... Ow. Hey, not bad. Pretty close. Okay. So we'll, like, recombobulate this a little bit, but for the time being... Yeah, that's super cool right there. Okay. So what we'll want is to be exceedingly careful with our digging. Are you backstuffed? Because you shouldn't be. Shouldn't you be going into there? Oh no, he's coming in. I guess it looks dark, but it's okay. It's working. It's doing its job. If we turned off the reactor, that would probably clear up, I would think. But for now, we're definitely getting towards the wrapping up point, right? But is my ultimates done yet? They are, for the most part. And then we just run you straight out to the ocean. And to be fair, there's a method to my madness. Water does block radioactivity in real life, doesn't it? Pretty sure that's an accurate statement. Pretty sure. I ain't a nuclear engineer, but... I'm pretty sure spent fuel rods are stored in water, or something like that. Something like that. Alright, so now your spent nuclear waste, side config, gases... output, eject on. The spent nuclear waste should zoop right down there. And right over here, we can check to see. We've got a bucket each. Look at that. Perfection. Nice. And it'll... So we're going to want a bunch of nuclear things in there. So that will also, by the way, eventually decay. I'm pretty sure that over time, these will empty themselves. Very long periods of time, but time nonetheless. So eventually we'll produce another bucket here, like very, very shortly. And we're making our polonium pellets, so that's cool, right? Initial level 1 basic nuclear reactor up and running. I think that's pretty cool. All right, so we'll come back next episode because it's wrapping up point. Build a bigger fission reactor, produce more nuclear waste. Good times. We will upscale our polonium production. Now he's cooking up that 1,000 millibuckets into another polonium pellet. The waste goes down into the thing. Everybody's happy. Cool, right? Isn't that cool? I like it. I really do like it. It's fun. It's fun to build all this and also be like super careful about this. So like if I scrammed this at the moment, this guy, no gas stored, all the gases would disappear, everything would be done, no more of this, no more of this, and this stopped moving. Cool? All right, wrapping up point for the episode, Darwell20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna set you, by the way, to dump excess energy, because he's just not even transferring energy fast enough into this cube. Oh, the cube's full, that's why. Okay, yeah, cube filled up a while ago. Energy's got an internal buffer of 1 billion RF that's gonna fill up. I'll dump the excess RF, because frankly, we're not here for RF. Okay? Yes, we created a nuclear reactor not for RF, but to produce nuclear waste. That's the opposite of what you normally do. Normally you create a reactor for energy. We created it not for energy. Forget the energy. We'll just void the energy. We want the RF. We want the waste. We want the nuclear waste to happen. All right, shenanigans. Darwell20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.